Hong Kong is a city of contrast. A sea of skyscrapers grows from lush green jungle where modern tech meets ancient traditions, and Chinese culture mixes with aspects of Western society. We've just quit our jobs to go travelling, and in this first video we explore many of Hong Kong's highlights and how to make the most of them. After touching down at Hong Kong Airport, the first thing to think about is transport. Thankfully, Hong Kong has one of the most efficient and affordable public transport systems in the world, with over 90% of daily journeys taken on it. Probably the simplest way to use this system if staying for more than a couple of days is with an Octopus smart card. This is fairly similar to London's Oyster card and can be used to touch in and out on Hong Kong's metro, buses and ferries, as well as for paying in certain shops and restaurants. Purchasing an Octopus card can quickly be done in the airport from either the Airport Express desk or self-service machines for 150 Hong Kong dollars, the majority of which will be preloaded on the card and covers one Airport Express journey and a free onward metro connection. From then on, it can be topped up at metro stations or stores like 7-Eleven, and any money you don't use can be refunded at the end of your trip. We just arrived at our Airbnb after I finally managed to work out the keypads on the doors, and it really is Hong Kong micro living. So the bed is right here and then the kitchen is right next to it. But this is pretty standard size for Hong Kong, and to be honest, it's got everything we need. It's got all the self-catering stuff, it's modern, it was a good price, and it's right in the centre of town, so there's no complaints. We're feeling pretty rough and jet lagged, so the first thing we're doing is just heading for a gentle walk down on the promenade to check out the Hong Kong skyline down in the bay. Good morning, it's our first full day in Hong Kong and we're heading to Kowloon Park, which is right near our Airbnb, and it's a Sunday today, so there is some dragging dancing and kung fu performances on in the park, so we're going to go and check that out and just have a wander around the park, see what there is. So we've actually ended up spending several hours here in the park, just strolling around, enjoying the performances. There's actually a load of large groups having impromptu parties, celebrating birthdays or Christmas, so there's a really nice vibe. It's just, it's a lot calmer than the busy streets that are just outside the park walls. We're now heading to the Hong Kong Museum of History, which is free to get in, just to find out a bit more about the region and how it got to where it is now. The Hong Kong Story is a free permanent exhibition within the Museum of History. It outlines all different aspects of Hong Kong's history, from its geology and natural environment, through human settlement, cultural heritage, and on to colonisation by the British, occupation by Japan, and concluding with the reunification of Hong Kong with China in 1997. As it is displayed across 8 galleries, you can spend more or less time on each section depending on what part of Hong Kong's history you are most interested in. Now that it's dark, we're just heading to the Avenue of Stars, which is on the waterfront near the bay, to watch the Symphony of Lights, which you can watch every night at 8 PM. On our way to the ferry, we popped into the Harbour City shopping centre without realising it's the biggest mall in Hong Kong. This place is so big, it has its own app to help you navigate to find the shops. It's got something like over 500 shops and restaurants, hotels, cruise ship ports. So yeah, if you want to do shopping, that's your thing, then this is probably the place to come. We're now on the Star Ferry to travel over to Hong Kong Island. and this is probably one of the cheapest ways to have a boat ride across the harbour and see the Hong Kong skyline from the water, because it's only about $2.70 on the Octopus cards. Okay, we're heading to the Zoological and Botanical Gardens, and we decided to walk instead of get the bus. However, it's a lot steeper than we were expecting. So one of the downfalls of this Airbnb is that there's no windows, so it's really hard to tell what time of day it is, which was a real struggle when we were trying to get over jet lag. And we kept laughing at the fact there is a blind here, even though it's just a blank wall. But we just realised that there's a light, and if you turn it on, it actually does a pretty good job of making it look like there's a window there and it's daylight shining through. Today we're heading to Victoria Peak, but first of all we're going to quickly head to Wan Chai Computer Centre, which is a huge technology shopping centre. We're now heading towards Victoria Peak Tram, but to get there we're just going to have a wander through Hong Kong Park. The Peak Tram is a 130-year-old iconic bit of Hong Kong transport that pulls you up seemingly impossible angles to one of Hong Kong's best vantage points via a single steel cable. You can use an Octopus card to save time queuing up at the ticket office. However, if you plan on coming back down on the tram, it is cheaper to buy a return ticket. That tram ride was really cool, a bit nerve-wracking for Kath because it is very steep. One recommendation is that you should sit on the right side of the tram because that has the best views when you're going up. Now we're at the top, there's the whole shopping mall, Madame Tussauds, there's restaurants, bars, ice cream, so there's no shortage of things to do up here. However, we're going to head off and just try and find some other vantage points over the city. When you buy tickets for the Peak Tram, they'll try and sell you tickets for the 360 viewing platform that's up here as well, but I really don't think it's worth it because there's so many good free vantage points already, like this one, which is just at the top of the shopping centre and has a view over the other side of the mountain at the sea and the islands. And the best bit is there's no tourists here, it's really quiet and peaceful. Having a bit more of a lazy day today, so we've woken up a bit later, done some washing, so our room looks like dry cleaners or something. I've done a bit of editing, and then we might head out to some markets this afternoon. We're just grabbing a spot of lunch in a small city park, and then we're going to head round the corner to Mong Kok Ladies Market, which has hundreds of street vendors selling clothes, accessories, and anything else you can imagine. So if you want a bit more character and cheaper prices than the high-end shopping malls, then it's probably best to head to one of these markets to try and haggle a deal. We're now about to go into the Man Mo Temple, which is dedicated to the gods of literature and war, and it's famous for the many incense coils and sticks that can be found inside hanging from the ceiling. The Man Mo Temple is right near the Soho district, which is where all the bars and restaurants are, so we're now going to go and grab a bite to eat. We just had the most amazing dim sum at a place called Ding Dim 1968, which is just a small restaurant in Soho, and they had a lot of good vegetarian options, which is obviously good for me. So for good food and restaurants, particularly catered towards English-speaking guests, then Soho really is the area to come. So to today is our last day in Hong Kong as just the two of us, as Cass' family are flying in this evening to do Disneyland Hong Kong with us. So we've headed to Lantau Island, dropped off our bags at Disneyland, and now we're going to explore the rest of the island today. Specifically, we're going to have a look at the Big Buddha and Buddhist monasteries at Phnom Penh, which is up the top of the mountain. So getting there is part of the fun, as you have to take a 25-minute cable car ride up the mountain. So we're now on board. Literally painted. Fucking blowing in the wind, I want to get off. That's alright, we're only on here for 25 minutes. I hate it! This is a bit Jurassic Park. We're kind of going up into the mountain, into the mist, and can't see in front of us. But it's really cool, I really like it. So we're just over halfway and we're literally surrounded by cloud on all sides. You can't see anything. I'm really loving this. The mist just adds so much atmosphere. Now climbing the very long staircase up to what we hope is a Big Buddha. We can't see the top. So we made it to the top and the Big Buddha should be about there. We can just about make it out through the mist. So sorry I can't show you an actual view. Maybe you'll have better luck when you come. A word of warning, if you are planning on coming up here, an hour or two before we came, it was blue skies and sunny, and we were debating whether we were even going to bring our hoodies and trousers, but we're so glad we did, because as you can see, it is a lot colder and very misty. We've seen a couple of girls here in very short shorts looking like they're freezing. I can't actually film inside the POLIN monastery, but it really is stunning inside. The carvings, the ornaments, the flowers, and it's worth the trip alone up here. So right next to the POLIN monastery there's a vegetarian deli, so this place gets a big thumbs up from me.
I haven't tried that bit, I bet it wasn't meat.
No, that was really good. It's now got really misty and wet up here, so we're going to head back to the cable car. But despite that mist, this is one of my favourite places we've been. This village of Phnom Penh is very touristy. It's literally just gift shops and bars and restaurants, so it is what it is. But the monastery and the Big Buddha, certainly in this mist, have this eerie and peaceful beauty that I really liked. So definitely worth a visit. Hong Kong was mine and Kath's first stop on our travels, and what a place to start. I equally enjoyed visiting its top attractions, as well as just wandering the busy streets and soaking up the atmosphere. I'm someone that loves both getting away to nature and the hectic buzz of a city, and Hong Kong delivers on both right alongside one another. However, whilst the city felt completely safe during our time here, I feel I can't finish this video without mentioning the recent political instability that has troubled it. This instability originates from historic British rule of Hong Kong and the democratic differences that gave the people of this region. However, those differences and mix of cultures is what makes Hong Kong so unique and exciting to explore. We can only hope that a positive outcome is found that allows both this wonderful city and its people to continue to flourish. We just had the most amazing dim sum at a restaurant called. Just had the most amazing dim sum. Dim sum. That was right.